Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesdays with Wit. I am also going to be streaming from Periscope, so just give me a moment to hop on there. As you come in, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from, that you can hear me okay. And then also, please share this broadcast. And hopefully you had a chance to read the topic. If you never start, you already failed. Bear with me as I am setting up Periscope. Almost finished. Boom. Hey Periscope, this is Wit Devereaux of witdevereaux.com. I am streaming on both Periscope and Facebook for Wednesdays with Wit. It has been a little while since I was on Periscope and also on Facebook. I took a hiatus because I knew that I would be traveling and I wanted to make sure that I preserved my energy. Hi Debbie, thanks for tuning in. If you see me looking this way, it's because I'm also on Facebook Live. For those of you who follow me on Periscope, make sure that you follow me on my Facebook business page, which is Wit Devereaux Enterprises. And if somebody shared this with you, this is your first time tuning in, please make sure to hit the like and follow button and then also turn on your notifications. I want to talk a little bit about the fear of failure. A lot of times people have a fear of failure or they get stagnant before they even start anything. They are already fearing sabotage and thinking of the worst possible scenario. So I wanted today to just come on and share with you a bit about that, as well as give you some different announcements on the things that's going on. So as you come in, say hello, even if you're on the replay, and then I'll come back in and I will make sure to engage. I'm going to go ahead and share this also on my regular page, and then we can get started. If you're not on my email list, you want to do that as well. Again, it's witdevereaux.com. Once I am finished with this broadcast, then I'll put the link down below in the video on Facebook. And then on Periscope, it's the first link in my bio. So you want to make sure that you're following me. Got some pretty exciting things going on. First of which I will show you. Because if you've been following me, you might have seen it already. But if not, don't mind me, I'm just sharing something on my page. If you are not, or maybe you just recently started following me, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my award. So I'll first show it here to Periscope and then also to Facebook. So if you've been following me, you know that I am what? I'm an author. And now I can say that I am an award-winning and best-selling author. I have 3 different books. The one that I won the award for was actually for my book, Not By My Own, which is a fiction Christian novel, but it's based on some personal facts of my testimony in overcoming abuse, teenage pregnancy, and depression. I am a firm believer in Revelations 12:11. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and then the words of our testimony, both of them together. So I took what happened to me and I put it in a story so that other people could know that they are what? Not alone. It also comes from the scripture John 5:30. And the Message translation, or the New Living Translation, says, I can do nothing on my own. That's what it starts with. But by my Father who sent me. So I believe that we are all here for a purpose. Now, there are a lot of people who might come and say, hey, Wit, I don't really know my purpose. How did you get so bold to walk in your purpose? Aren't you ever afraid? And yeah, I get afraid. I actually have a coach, and a lot of times she would encourage us to do things afraid, but then also reminding us that the the spirit of fear or timidity, it does not come from God. He's given us power, He's given us love, and then also a sound mind. So He's also giving you that gift. And the important thing to do with your gift is to use it. Use it or lose it. It really is that simple. And so the title of this is something that came about after having conversations with different people who were either afraid to get started or they had an idea, but the fear of failure just stopped them dead in their tracks. Maybe they started, but then they stopped when they saw that there was no growth or that things weren't coming as easy to them. But everything that is worth something is not necessarily going to come easily. It's not. A lot of things are going to take tenacity. It's going to take the ability to encourage yourself when you don't have cheerleaders or you don't have other people that support you. I hear a lot of new entrepreneurs saying, oh, I don't have support. But I choose not to think about the people who aren't supporting me when there are so many people that God has designed specifically for me that want to support me. So if there's something that you are wanting to do, God is like putting it on your heart and He's tugging at you to go ahead and get started, I encourage you to do so. I'll show you my book. Now that I have the award, I get to put these little stickers on there that indicate that I'm an award-winning author. I have it right here. So here in the corner, it says 2018 winner from Authors Promoting Success. And for me, I was excited about that because it sets you apart. If you are somebody who is a big reader like me, a lot of readers strive to get on the bestsellers list, whether it's Amazon, whether it's New York Times, whatever it is. So in anything, you want to set a goal for what it is you're trying to do. Initially, I was thinking too small. So all I wanted to do was write a book, keep working my 8 to 5, not my 9 to 5. And for those of you who are new to following me, I worked in social services for 9 years, from being a social services director to being on the insurance side of it, helping people to get insured. I've also worked in the legal field, being a paralegal. So I've had all types of jobs, but it wasn't exactly what I knew that God wanted me to do. Maybe in that season, because there are things that I learned that help me now. Like I was working from home for 2 years. So with working from home, what does that mean? You have to be disciplined enough to be able to stay on task, complete your assignments, still turn things in, because even though you're not at work, you are still at work, right? You are still expected to finish the same amount of work that somebody who is in the office is working on. So being at home means that you have to learn how to encourage yourself. You have to learn how to be organized. You have to learn how to be disciplined. But at the same time, it gave me the ability to also work on my passion, my side hustle, which is now my full-time business and being an author and now a speaker. And I want to take a moment to say hello again. Thank you all for tuning in. As you come in, please hit the share button. If somebody invited you and you're even watching on the replay, make sure to hit the like and follow so that you will be able to get notifications when I go live. I typically go live on Wednesdays. Wednesdays with Wit is what I like to call it. It used to be on my lunch hour, but now, since I work on my own schedule, I like to come in the evening to try to catch you all later on in the day when you're coming off of work and things like that. So even if you're on the replay, let me know. And thank you for the hearts, and thank you for inviting your followers. So again, you have to make sure that if God is pulling you, He's urging you, He's putting something on your heart, to go ahead and do it. I was at a conference, so some of you might have seen that on my Facebook page. I was at a conference this week that was literally life-changing, like life-changing. I shared it with my email list. So again, whitdevereaux.com. If you are not on my email list, you want to get on, because you get to hear things behind the scenes and learn firsthand the things that I'm learning. So I went to a Christian entrepreneur conference, and the conference happens to be led by millionaires. So people who love God, people who are operating their gifts, their talents, and they are able to monetize it to the point where they are making millions. A lot of times people are like, well, you don't want to charge if you're serving in ministry. There's a line between ministry and business, but there is another time for that topic. Nevertheless, I went there to be poured into, because how many of you know when you are used to being the servant or used to pouring into other people, you also need that time of refreshing, you need that time of refueling. So if you haven't invested in yourself into a conference or something that's going to allow you to be refreshed, I encourage you to do that as well. But at this conference, there were different people who were prophesying. There was someone who shared with me something God told them, but God had already told me. So what does that mean? He sometimes confirms the word by other people, right? So he already told me. I was running from it, but based on the urgency of what the prophet said, and then also what God said in my time alone with him, now I am going ahead and I'm like, hey, I surrender, because I don't want to be like Jonah in the whale. Like, if you all ever read that story, Jonah was running. Jonah was running from God. He got swallowed up in the whale. I don't want none of that to happen, right? So, obedience. I also went to like a little gathering, and there were people talking about like, what would you do? It was a really good question. What would you do if you knew that you could not fail? And you guys can answer that for me in the comments too. What would you do if you knew that failure was not even on the table? Like, failure was not an option. All you could do was win. All you could do was succeed. What is it that you would do? So some people, they dreamed really big, and then other people not so much. Some people were staying in like a safe box, which I know, like, if you're not used to being stretched or you're out of your comfort zone, it's easier to stay in the safe box. But God is calling some of us out to walk on water, to trust him, and to follow his leading. Open a medical billing and coding school. Oh, that is nice. I think you should do it, Debbie. Especially if God is calling you out to do it. You have the credentials. You can do the research. You can connect with other people doing what it is that you want to do, so you can find out what exactly did they do to open this type of school or open this type of business or run this type of program, right? It's important to put yourself around people that are doing the thing that you want to do too. That's really important. Put yourself in an atmosphere or an environment where people want to learn, people want to grow, people want to thrive. They want more. They want to do bigger and better things. Because then that'll motivate you, and that'll push you to want to do something else. Let's see, a medical bills collections company. Yes. Well, you know they making money, honey. Anybody in collections, because it's always going to be somebody who don't pay a bill. All right? So, hey, if that's your gift, medical billing and coding, find a way to monetize it. Find a way to, and monetize it came from a coach that I had. But she really helped me to transition my thinking. Like, you have these gifts, you have these talents, you have these desires, you have these things that you are passionate about. So why are you working for somebody else doing things that you don't want to do? It really don't make sense. Because I'm sure you would go harder for yourself, or you would work harder, or you'd be more dedicated to you, you know? And that's been my own personal experience. Any type of job I've ever had, I always was diligent and always making sure that I was doing my very best. Even when I left my last job, I went out what I considered to be on top. I wasn't written up. I wasn't in fear of losing my job. It was nothing like that. However, I knew that that was not where I needed to be. So, if you are just joining, you can answer this question. If you knew that failure was not an option, it was not something that, could happen. Success was inevitable. What is it that you would do? And I got that from a ladies' night event that we had. I thought it was a really impactful question. But like I said, some people thought big, and then some people stayed in their safe zone. And I'm already doing things that I believe God is going to make me successful in, right? So I don't think about failure. A lot of times people are afraid of failure. Well, for me, my fear used to be of extreme success and then being able to maintain that. For me, that was my fear. But again, we know that God doesn't give us a spirit of fear. He gives us spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And those are the scriptures that you're going to need to hold on to when you're stepping out and you're opening your medical billing and coding business, or you're doing whatever it is that God asked you to do. If you're being an author like me, or a speaker like me, or like now I'm going to be doing my first live event. When I wrote my first book, not by my own, I did not have an event. It was so much going on around me in my personal life that I was not able to really celebrate. Like, people supported me, but I didn't have a book release event. Instead, I just kept forging on. So I wrote one book, boom, that was June. Then I wrote the next book, that was July, with a group of women. It was an anthology. Then the next book I did in May of 2018. So I was just steaming ahead, like full steam along. I didn't take a moment to celebrate. I didn't take a moment to really process it. So this time I'm doing something that's totally out of my comfort zone. If you're one of my friends, you know I do not really like parties per se. I'm not somebody who really likes a whole lot of attention. But that's something that God has been dealing with me as well. When He's called you out, when He has gifted you, you aren't going to be able to stay in the background. He is going to make you do things that are not necessarily comfortable. So I'm having my first live event here in Chicago. Save the date. It's October 27th. It's a private location because of the type of people that are going to be coming. They are domestic violence survivors. So September 1st, that's when the link will be live, and that's when you'll be able to get your tickets. If you're not able to attend because either you don't live in Chicago or you have like some people have domestic violence events going on, share the information. I believe the more that we talk about domestic violence, the more that we talk about our own experiences, that will help to break the stigma of it, and then it will also help other people to know they're not alone and then get the help that they need so that they can come out and that they can be free. So I saw a comment that said background singers. Let me go back up. Are you trying to be a background singer, Debbie? What are you saying? Let me know, let me know. I saw that. Look like Periscope is freezing up, but I'll continue here. So if there's something that you want to do, don't count yourself out before you even get started. There's a book that you want to write. I always tell people, try writing a little bit every day. You can replace your favorite TV show with writing. I don't really watch TV like that, but there are a few shows that I really enjoy. So I'll make sure that someone records them for me. My mom might record it for me. Or if you have DVR, you can record it later. Catch it on Netflix, whatever. But use that time where you would be doing something that's really not helping you work towards your goal. Use it to work towards your goal. Use that 30 minutes to an hour to really focus on doing something that is going to help you get started, get moving, and then get to this goal that you have set for yourself. And then if you set a goal, don't think so small, right? I read a good book by Marshawn Evans Daniels called Believe Bigger. I think that you should go hard or go home, right? And whatever you're doing, if you want to succeed, then you have to think big. You have to envision yourself doing what it is that you are called to do, what you are purposed to do. If you are on Periscope and it froze, come on over to Facebook. We're still over here live. But I want to make sure that you all are staying in touch. You are staying connected, because if I miss a Wednesdays with Wit, being on my email list, then you will have access to blog posts, discounts that I do every now and then, some different sales that I have on either t-shirts or books, as well as the Indies in the City Authors Tour that I have. So starting in January of this year, 2018, I began working on an authors tour with some different independent authors. And we started out mainly in Chicago, going to different bookstores and libraries, expos, but now we are going to be expanding. And so the Authors or Indies in the City Authors Tour will next be in October. We'll be in Nashville at the Southern Book Festival, which is really exciting for me. I have never been to Tennessee, and that is where my grandmother is from. She's actually from Somerville, Tennessee. So I'll be excited to at least go to the state that she was born in. So I'm excited about that. WhitDevereaux.com is how you can stay attached. October 27th is the date you want to save for the domestic violence. It's going to be an annual event, right? It's the Domestic Violence Survivor Celebration, so that you can make sure that you are supporting awareness, you are helping people to know that they're not alone. If you can't attend, you can sponsor a woman, you can sponsor a man to come. We'll have that link available for you in just a few days on September 1st. Again, as you come in on the replay, make sure to say hello. I always come back in the comments and we can get connected there. I'm going to hop off of here because I have actually two groups. So my first group, which is called Not By My Own Community, is a group that I branched off from my book, where it's helping women who are impacted by abuse to rebuild their lives and then also to rebuild their relationships with Christ. Once I learned how to love myself, once I learned how to forgive myself and forgive other people, and then reconnect with my village, that is when I was able to really get my healing, move forward, and no longer be a victim, but a victor over this whole situation with domestic violence. A lot of times people will say, I'm a domestic violence victim. Because if you survive that, you're victorious over that stronghold or that thing that the enemy tried to use to keep you bound. So you want to move from victim to victor, from survivor to advocate. So I survived, and now I advocate for other people who can't necessarily do it for themselves. So Not By My Own Community, you can get that information also on WhitDevereaux.com. But at 6:30, I'll be doing a book chat in Whit Devereaux's book club. I'm somebody who not only likes to write, but I like to read, and I at least read 1 to 2 books a month. This month, I read Higher is Waiting by Tyler Perry. That's the one that we're going to be reviewing today in Whit Devereaux's book club. And then I also started reading a book by a friend, Brandon Coleman. It's called Blank Canvas, a novel. And then I also started the book Soar. This is all in August, people. I like to read, and I invited people who also like to read to join me. So the book that we will be discussing tonight inside of my group, this group is free, Whit Devereaux's book club. It's on Facebook. You can join us at 6:30 if you've already read the book. If not, then you can get ready to gear up for the next book for September, which we are still voting on. The votes will close on August 31st, so that by September 1st, we can all start reading the new book together. And again, I read multiple books at one time, so don't feel pressed to stop what you're reading to join us. I like to read multiple books. That's just me. What else is my announcement? Not By My Own Community. So sometimes people ask about, what do you offer for free? So I want to break down to you what I offer for free and what I offer for an investment in you. Not an investment in me, but an investment in you. So free content that I have, these live streams, my blog posts. I have a blog where I talk about different resources for overcoming abuse. That's free. Blog, live stream, free. Next, if you don't want to join the group, I have books. I have 3 books. Not By My Own, that's the one I won the award for, which handles domestic violence, teenage pregnancy, overcoming depression. Then the next book, which is Layers of a Wounded Soul. And then the next book is There's a Jewel in You, Volume 2. So I've got books for you. Then I also have, if you're not somebody who knows how to love themselves properly, like you're used to taking care of everybody else and you need to learn about self-care, I have an ebook. So that is like a low-cost product as well. So we got the free, which is the blogs, and the live stream. Then I got the books that are like middle, and then I have my group. My group is still very affordable. Like I said, I invested in a coach. A lot of people, they say, Whitney or Whit, I want to pick your brain. I want to find out how you did what you did. Well, sir or ma'am, with all due respect, I learned how to invest in myself and the importance of that. So I read books, I take classes, I hired coaches. I like had coaches on coaches on coaches on coaches, like, and then I networked and I learned from other people who are doing what it is that I want to do. I positioned myself and I got myself ready so that when opportunities come, I'm ready and I can accept them. I don't have to worry about getting the website together because that's done. I don't have to worry about getting my speaker reel or my speaker one sheet together ready because that's done. I don't have to worry about my schedule getting in the way as far as my 8 to 5 because I work for myself and God, of course, as the head of my business. But I positioned myself and I prepared myself and I invested in myself. So I encourage you to do the same. Position yourself around people of greatness, get up under them and learn from them. If it is an investment fee, you're worth the investment. You really are. So a lot of people don't really understand that, but I hope that you listen to me and listen to me clearly. You are worth the investment. Now, you want to see what your coach is all about. Make sure they're a person of integrity, a person who has experience. They are doing what you want to do at a level that you want to achieve. You always want to get around somebody who's doing a little bit better than you. They know a little bit more than you. Like me, for instance, I do writers coaching. So teaching writers how to connect with other people, market their books, get their books on different platforms. So it's not just on Amazon. Some people get stuck in Amazon and the unlimited Kindle. That's a whole nother story. But you can go on whitdevereaux.com and book a coaching session. And in that way, if you are an aspiring author or you're somebody who already wrote a book, but you're not making any money, you don't have any engagements, whether it's speaking engagements or even vending events, and you want to go again to whitdevereaux.com. I'm going to go to Whit Devereaux's book club now and talk about Higher is Waiting. I thank you all for coming in. Thank you for your likes and your feedback here on Facebook and also on Periscope. I will see you all next Wednesday for Wednesdays with Wit at 6 p.m. Don't forget, I have the Godly Reflection show too. It's a lot going on, but God gives you the grace to do it. If He's called you to it, He will make provisions for it. Amen. So I will see you all next time. Thank you for tuning in, live and on the replay, whitdevereaux.com. Bye-bye.